Binding of Isaac is one of my favorite games, due to how strange and oddly addicting it is. All my friends know I love this game, and as soon as the expansion came out, I instantly bought it. However, one of my friends, who spends most of his time just randomly searching stuff on YouTube and Google for something to do, found a fan remake of the game called The Binding of Me.exe. He mentioned it to me and said I should try it as I loved the game so much. He hadn't tried it though, as he didn't really like The Binding of Isaac, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't find it. So I asked my friend to email me it so I could play it, and he downloaded it and sent it to me. After checking my email, I found a .rar file, with the name being tbom.rar. I unzipped it, and there was an exe file named The Binding of Me.exe and a text file. I attempted to open the text file, but all the characters were random letters and symbols, much like if you tried to open a .dll file with Notepad. There was one part right at the bottom that was intelligible though, and it read, "Do not lose your soul." This amused me, as I thought it was just something about losing your soul hearts. If you haven't played The Binding of Isaac, soul hearts are extra health bars. I loaded up The Binding of Me.exe, and my computer started to slow down, which was really weird, as my computer is a top-of-the-line computer, and nearly nothing would make it slow down. Upon loading, instead of the normal intro sequence, it just cut straight to the character select screen, with only one character selectable. This is where I started to get freaked out, as the character was named James, my name in real life, and the picture was a picture of me. I realized that this game must have been very cleverly programmed, as it most likely found a picture of me in my pictures folder and got my name from Windows. I wasn't really happy with the game searching my computer like that, but I continued nonetheless. I selected James as my character and loaded the game up. The game played very similarly, but I noticed a few differences. In the spot where the hearts normally showed, there was a full amount of soul hearts and only one heart. I actually laughed when I saw this, as normally you only start with 2 hearts, so this would be quite easy. After passing the first floor, nothing much had happened. I took out the boss quite easily and all was good. Then, when I got to the second floor, everything went wrong. Fire started appearing all around my character, and my tears, that's what you use to kill enemies and put out fires, weren't extinguishing the fires. I tried to run, but the door was closed and I couldn't leave. My soul hearts were going away quickly, and soon I was down to 1 soul heart and my original starting heart. I managed to escape the room by blowing up the door and running through the hole. A text box popped up, which I found odd, as the game never communicates to the player. The text box read, "Don't lose your soul, you will regret it." I noticed that in my item box, I now had an item called James' Soul. However, it had no charges, so I couldn't use it. The screen then started to flash and maggots started to work their way into the room I was in. I tried to kill them, but more and more kept coming. I ran away and decided that I had enough of this game. I attempted to close it, but the game wouldn't close. I even went to Task Manager, but I couldn't even force close the game. The game started flashing again, and another text box appeared, saying, "You cannot escape this easily." As a last resort, I turned my computer off at the power. Spooked by the game, I left my PC off for a few days, then decided to turn it on to search something on YouTube. As soon as the computer started, it didn't load Windows. It loaded The Binding of Me. A text box appeared saying, "Welcome back, James. I've missed your soul." I decided to complete the game, as there seemed to be no other way to get my computer back to normal. Maggots continued to seep through the walls as I completed room after room, not taking any damage. After finally getting to where the boss would normally be, Mom, the boss was replaced with James' Soul. The item had disappeared from my inventory, and I now had to fight my own soul. After defeating the final boss, a text box appeared. "Thank you for defeating your own soul. It now belongs to me." I felt a pain in my chest upon reading those words, and I screamed quite loudly. Everything in my room started to fade as I realized I was losing consciousness. I woke up, apparently 2 weeks later in the hospital after having to have a heart transplant just to stay alive. I was in the hospital for 4 weeks, and when I came home, I found my computer had been turned off. I turned my computer on, and Windows loaded up like normal. I opened the folder where the binding of Me had been, and I found the game was gone, but the text file was still there. Hesitantly, I opened the text file, and it read, "Thanks for your soul, James. You are victim number 628. I will soon be reborn." Then my computer went to blue screen of death with only one word: devil. After the transplant, I am now doing fine. However, my friend who gave me the game hasn't responded. I hope he hasn't played it.